there, sunshines. If you're just joining us, this is one of our very first book beats. And basically, my goal is to read a book a week. And what I want to do is share some of the first chapter with you. Some of the first chapters are obviously like super long. So we'll share a little bit of the first chapter with you here. And then if the book references a song that I think you maybe don't know, I'll have it like over here on the right here, like this song from the book. And it talks about this song in the book. And you might remember, if you've been in my class, then you know that I always call my students my sunshines. And here's a clip of that. You know what I mean when I call you my sunshines. And obviously we've been out of school a little bit, so I don't remember how to say sunshine really fast. But anyway, that's why I always call you that, because you make my heart smile. So it made my heart smile when this book referenced it. And Miss Rohr, fourth grade teacher at my school, recommended this book. She said, "You'll like it here, everybody does." It was really good dystopian fiction and sci-fi. And she thought it was too big for her kiddos, but she thought you might like it. So she suggested it for my beach read. And when my other book got swept out to sea, I pulled this one up on my phone and was able to still read a book on the beach, just not a paper book. So thankfully, the ocean did not sweep away my cell phone, and I was able to finish it. Now, I do want to say, though, that the opening chapter of this book kind of references something scary happening at school. And this was before anything in current news had happened that I read this. And so kind of timely, but also in a sci-fi weird way. And throughout the book, it talks about this event that happens to our main character. Our protagonist is named Maggie B. And this happens to Maggie B at school when she's very little. And it's something that she carries with her. Now, is it probably the best one for the current climate? No. But is it also one that's important because things happen to all of us? Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it just so that I can keep up with what I've been reading all summer. So in the first chapter, it's going to talk about this big event that happens for Maggie B and this experience that she has. So if the current news events about things that are happening in Texas are a little hard for you, this may not be one that you're ready to read. And that's okay. It's okay to go, I want to read this someday. I'm going to put a pin in that. So I'm going to read you a little bit of the book, and then I'm going to play for you a little bit of a song that I'm recommending for Maggie B. So my thought here is that if my protagonist was a real person, what song would I recommend for them, or what song would I play for them? Because music just means so much to all of us, doesn't it? So I've got this clip over here, and I'll post the links down below for both of these. So if you want to listen to them, they'll be in my comments below. So first off, let's start with You'll Like It Here, Everybody Does. Chapter 1, Maggie Speaks. Now, her name is Maggie, not Maggie. When I was in the 3rd grade on the California coast, a crazy man came into my classroom one day and started waving a knife around. He said he was an alien hunter. He had a purple blotch on his face that was shaped exactly like Mexico, and his eyes were wild. Help came long before he could hurt anybody, but he left scars all the same. I was so petrified I don't remember a thing after that, until I saw Gramps holding out his arms to me. He lifted me from the couch in the principal's office, where I lay curled up, and held me close. He smelled like freshly baked bread. And that was the day my nightmare started. At the end of that school term, Mom quit her job at the university, where she taught astronomy, and found a new one at another university in North Carolina. A moving van carried our belongings across the country, but Mom, Gramps, my brother David, and I spent 5 amazing days and nights traveling in our car, taking in the sights of America. In North Carolina, we were thrilled to pieces with our own 7-acre plot of land surrounding the farmhouse Mom had bought for us. Locally, it was called the Old Fisher Place, for the family who'd lived there for years and years before us. There were apple trees and lots of blackberry bushes, a grape arbor, a weeping cherry tree, and I don't know what all. I barely remember Daddy, who died when I was 3. From then on, Gramps, who is my mom's father, tended our house and took care of us. David and I never knew Grandmama because she died before we were even old enough to have a memory. Gramps was in his 60s and was still as energetic and feisty as a boy. He took good care of himself through a healthy diet and exercise, and because of that, he seemed much younger than he was. At times, in fact, when asked his age, he actually fibbed, subtracting 5 years or so, and he got away with it. My mother was the best mom in the world. She was strong like a rock, sweet, smart, and pretty too. But it was Gramps I turned to when I needed help or comfort or affection, probably because he was always available. Gramps was also a wannabe artist. In California, he stayed at home and happily painted his pictures when Mom, David, and I were at school. Sometimes he sold his stuff at arts festivals for a few dollars. But now that we were older and living in a new place, he wanted to walk out into the world a bit, as he put it. So that first September, he began teaching art to high school students in the small town near us. Next door to the high school were the lower schools, where David and I enrolled. Mom's new job was only 30 minutes away. So there we were, a happy bunch of campers in our new home. The next spring, we sowed our seeds in the ground and watched them sprout and grow into living plants that made tomatoes and cucumbers for us, along with green peppers, corn, and melons. We got good vibes from the earth and spent every hour possible outside. Another planting season flew by, and now it's spring again. David and I are practically all grown up, as I am finishing the 6th grade and he the 8th. The nightmares that started for me in the 3rd grade eased up over the years, but at certain times I still feel like that little girl who was so scared and helpless she wet her pants. I see things in the shadows, and when I round a corner, I halfway expect something hideous to jump out at me. I also hear noises under my bed and in my closet. Some shrink told Mom that it's common for a person to carry a thing like this forever. That doesn't exactly make me feel any better. It doesn't help either having a brother who is perfect. One who works out complicated math problems just for the fun of it and beats the computer in chess. David's so middle-aged, he makes me sick. And do you think he's ever been afraid of anything at all? I don't think so. I've come to the conclusion that I'm sure about only one thing in my life. And that is that I want to be able to do something, anything, that my brother can't do. At least, I want to do it better than he does. Will that ever happen? Now at school, a new buzz has started. You know the way things go round. One year, you'll have stories about witchcraft and who might be a witch and who might be a vampire or a werewolf. One year, there's a ghost in somebody's house or at one of the umpteen cemeteries in our little town. Everybody has a hair-raising story to tell you at lunch break. And this year, wouldn't you know, it's UFOs. There are aliens among us, the kids whisper, because teachers don't want to hear junk like that. They are here to take over the earth. If we don't get them first, they'll get us. My very best friend is Kitty, short for Catherine, Singer, a tiny, sparkly African-American girl who always wears purple. I love her to pieces, but I gotta tell you, she has an imagination that won't quit. Maybe it's because both her parents are librarians, and the whole family reads tons of stories, sci-fi and otherwise. They also watch every movie that comes along, no matter how far out. On a golden Saturday in May, Kitty and I are picking strawberries from our patch when she says to me, "Did you know that the aliens come in the middle of the night when you're sleeping and suck out your soul through your big toe? Then you become one of them, and you don't even know it. You go on living regular until one day they make you do evil things." Suck out your soul through your big toe. Kitty, you've been watching way too much sci-fi. She stands up and wipes her hands on her purple shirt. "Maggie B, I'm as serious as a heart attack," she says. "And when you wake up some night with one of them tugging at your foot, don't come crying to me, I warned you." Then we both burst out laughing. Kitty always makes me laugh. We whisper secrets and share dreams. We like the same music. We both like Taylor Swift better than Miley Cyrus. We love pretty clothes. Kitty's slogan for life is, "All good things start with a dream." We've been working on a slogan for me, but nothing seems to fit yet. That same afternoon, as we sit in the grass and eat our strawberries, she tells me she likes Corey Marshall, who's in our class. "I like him too," I say, not getting her drift. No, she says. I mean, I don't just like him. I like him. Oh, you like him? Yeah, and if you ever tell a living soul, I will put a curse on you. I do voodoo. You do? Voodoo, she squeals. You do voodoo, says me. Voodoo doo doo, she comes back. This could go on all day, so I get to the subject at hand. Corey Marshall, huh? She claps a hand over my mouth, and I mumble through her fingers. I won't tell. There's nothing to tell, she says, and removes her hand. That's exactly right. There's nothing to tell. But I lean over and whisper in her ear. He sure is cute. She grins. I know Kitty and my other classmates don't even believe their own stories about the aliens, but those creepy dreams start crawling around in my head like they used to. In my sleep, I see that man with the purple Mexico on his face. I hear him growling, I'm an alien hunter. I'm an alien hunter. And once again, his words echo, 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 through my nights, sometimes through my days. From the 1st of May until the last of September, Mom, Gramps, David, and I like to sleep on cots on our screened upstairs porch under the stars. Really love those nights. The radio plays low while Mom points out the constellations to us, and I drift off to sleep with the sweet sound of music and Mom's voice. There's the Southern Crown. In the jungle, the mighty jungle. There's Ursa Minor. The lion sleeps tonight. Sometimes I wake up in the wee hours to see Mom standing still with her hands on the screen, looking up at the sky. Tears glisten in her blue eyes. Her lips are moving, like she's speaking to God, but she doesn't say anything. My mom is so pretty with the moonlight shining on her pale hair. I know at these moments, without being told, that she's thinking of Dad and is searching for him in the stars. At school, the rumors become more grotesque and bloody with each telling. In my nightmares, yucky creatures climb up the outside wall of our house and onto the porch where we lie sleeping. They have the wild eyes of the madman, and they carry knives. Other times I wake up crying. David groans and throws a pillow over his head, but Mom holds me while Gramps says comforting things. Nobody's out there, he says. Nobody's going to get our Meggie. We're here to take care of you. Hush, my darling. Don't fear, my darling. The lion sleeps tonight. Then I go to sleep again under the stars that shine over the North Carolina countryside, far away from the shores of California, where a madman once hunted me. Okay, well, if you don't want to see what happens there, because there's like a whole lot of foreshadowing and some cool stuff going on in that first chapter. So, I just downloaded this one as the ebook. It's also available as an audiobook from the local public library, the Pioneer Public Library. So if you Google Pioneer Library, then you can get an e-card, which is like a library card, but only online, and download this book right away. It takes about 5 minutes total to get your card, get the email, confirm it, get the book, whole thing. And then once you've done that, you have access to these books and Hoopla and Canopy and all kinds of coolness. So Maggie B really likes all this kind of like sci-fi new agey stuff as the story goes on. And when I was thinking about what songs she might like, this one came to mind. So I'm going to play just like a little bitty bit of it. But this is from Wild Hearts. And if you recognize that, it's called Sayonara Wild Hearts from a video game that released in 2019. And I think it's on the Apple platform. And I know people were playing it on Switch in the comments below. So anyway, that is, you'll like it here. Everybody does. It takes a few twists and turns that I think you'll like if you are kind of into the super secret backstory to things and that you like knowing the I know something my reader doesn't know. type of thing. That's pretty cool. So this is a good book. I read it in about an hour or so. So you know, all total it has, let's see, 262 pages if you count everything in the front and all the gobbledygook in the back. So not a long read, a short read. So anyway, I will leave the links below in the comments section. So I hope you enjoyed our first book beats. Check in next for Red Queen.